I'm Noah Drum.
And I'm Zach Hall, and we are the Geeks That Speak.
This is the podcast where we nerd out about pretty much any pop culture.
From video games, Star Wars, and zombies.
To music, movies, and comics.
You just never know where the combo will go
on GeeksspeaK.
On this week's episode of GeeksspeaK, we're going to be talking about episode 3 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Powerbroker.
Or the Powerbroker. I'm not really sure if you add a the or take it away. I don't know.
We're going to be talking about the twist and turn.
Spoiler alert. First. Before we say anything.
Spoiler alert.
We say anything.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, you were saying?
Spoiler. But we're going to be talking about the twists and turns that happen throughout the episode.
Speaking of twists and turns, you never know what's in store on episode 3 here at GeeksspeaK.
We may or may not be foreshadowing something. But we're gonna be talking about anyway. Anywho, we're gonna be talking about the twists and turns that happen throughout the episode, and it's just gonna be a basic overview of the episode.
Speaking of basic, you're a bitch. No, I'm kidding.
Speaking of basic, you're a mom.
She's gonna watch this. I don't even have to threaten to tell her; she'll see it.
My bad, Aaron Holly. I love you. We're gonna be talking about the just the episode, how it went. What did you think of the episode this week?
It was a doozy. I definitely thought it was the best episode so far.
I definitely agree with that. But
my hair is all over the place.
Not to get ahead of myself. I'm very interested to see where next week's episode would go after that ending.
I mean, that's only my thought 2 seconds after the credits start rolling. Every episode.
But at the beginning of this episode, it started off with a GRC commercial, which personally gave me WandaVision vibes.
Oh, for sure.
With the commercials and stuff.
Wait, we're going to get 5 more commercials. Going to see all the Infinity Stones come back. You already know.
I don't personally know if that commercial has a deeper meaning, like how the WandaVision ones did. But
I mean, considering that it was like a commercial for the GRC and then immediately went to a GRC van with John Walker opening.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it has a deeper meaning, but like I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like, we're the GRC. We're here to help. Send in the choppers. You know what I mean? Like it was cut like that to show us the GRC is like any other government organization. They look real good till you know the details.
That's so true. So true.
I mean, John even said it later in the episode. As long as we get the job done, are they really going to sweat us on how?
Yeah, really.
Which is so not a Cap thing to say.
Literally. So after the commercial, it cuts to a GRC van. The van door opens to the Captain America shield with obviously John Walker wielding it. And he says to Hoskins, don't give him a second to breathe, or run, or escape, or whatever all he said.
Again, not something that Steve would have ever said.
And then the guy that he goes in and interrogates, by the way, he's the guy, I don't know his name specifically, but he was letting the Flag Smashers
Right.
through
They were definitely
there. They were there. But the way that John Walker went about interrogating this guy, it was just not at all, he's not our Captain America.
I mean, he didn't even give the guy enough respect to make the guy want to talk in English.
Yeah, and then he was like, do you know who I am? And then the dude...
I do, and I don't care. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like, Steve would not get up in your face all hostile. He would try to talk it through, like he did. I'm pretty sure Steve even tried to do this with his own self, but the 2012 Captain America... yeah. When the 2012 Captain America thought that the current day
he was
Captain
just
America
like, Loki!
I think he tried talking it out, but either way, Okay, so after that whole interrogation scene with John Walker, it then cuts to Bucky and Sam going to visit Zemo in the German prison that he was held captive in after the Civil War. And
Sorry, excuse me.
if I remember correctly, before they go in to visit Zemo, Bucky tells Sam, like, hey, maybe you stay out here because you're an Avenger and me and Zemo have some history together.
Okay. So, speaking about that part, do you think it was Bucky's plan to break Zemo out the whole time? Like, as soon as he was like, we need to go see Zemo. Because I find it weird that he wanted to go in by himself.
I don't necessarily know if that was his plan the entire time, but I do know that I'm pretty sure he definitely wanted one-on-one time with Zemo.
Right. I mean, I don't know. The way he asked, like, oh, I should go in. You're an Avenger. We have some history. Like, it just kind of seemed like a bullcrap-ish answer. And I just feel like his whole plan the whole time was like, oh yeah, no, we need Zemo. Because he even said that Falcon's not going to be on board with it.
Yeah. Like,
and then we get that awesome prison break scene.
Zemo is reading a book. He opens the book, and it shows a key card in there.
Yes.
So, was Zemo planning on breaking out before Bucky even came along?
I'm assuming that key card was an ID card that he used when he was dressed up as the guard. But, like, was that scene implying that Bucky gave it to him? It looked more like he pulled it out of the book before he showed Bucky what he was reading.
Yeah. There's definitely some,
I think you're right. I think Zemo was trying to plan an escape before Bucky came. And then Bucky came, and Zemo was like,
oh, okay.
This is my opportunity.
This is my opportunity. He's going to make this easier. You know.
I have a bigger question. We saw Zemo get introduced with the chessboard.
Yes.
Which, I mean, clearly is supposed to imply that he is playing everybody like pieces on a chessboard, like he's planning out moves. So, do you think that Zemo is more deeply involved with the Flag Smashers? Like, maybe he somehow orchestrated events from his cell that led to them getting the powers, and then created a chain of events involving the super soldier serum, and he knew that someone would come talk to him about it because he's one of the last people that knows about Hydra and the serum and all of the secrets. So maybe he set all of those things into motion, like hoping somebody would come so that he could enact his escape plan.
I don't know if he has any involvement with the Flag Smashers, but I am pretty certain that Zemo is playing Bucky and Sam for pawns.
I mean, he pretty much like calls the shots the entire time after he gets broken out of prison.
Yeah,
even though they say you don't make them.
Yeah, even Sam is like, you don't make a move without us knowing.
Want to bet?
Yeah, but he calls out all the shots. They have, other than a name or two, they have no leads.
But some events we'll get to later prove that, like, I feel like he's using them as much as they think they're using him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's got a bigger plan going on here. Because Zemo is smart. Like, we cannot forget this.
Yeah, no, he definitely is smart. Like, yes, he is rich, but
I think that's part of that escape scene. Like, that was a pretty cool hypothetical escape that they planned.
So, can we talk hypothetical? Like,
but like the way they did it kind of made it look cheap. Like it was super easy for Zemo to get out.
Yeah, it definitely felt way too easy for it. It just felt.
But I feel like that could be explained as like again proving like, oh, it was just so easy because Zemo was already planning this and he's just super smart, so he knows how to break out of prisons and stuff. Or, I mean, Bucky helped him. Bucky started that little prison riot, so like that would be like the Joker having Batman's help to escape from Arkham Asylum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just referring to Joker breaking out of Arkham Asylum, it usually always involves explosives.
This one didn't, though.
Yeah. So there's that.
Kudos.
But then again, Joker doesn't have the IQ level of someone like Baron Zemo or Helmet Zemo, but
Yeah. But anyway, so then they name drop Madripoor on that little plane ride
yeah.
where they make the awesome joke about if it doesn't pass the smell test, feed it to them. Which is something I would totally do.
Yeah.
Although I'd probably eat it myself even if it didn't pass the smell test. But that's just me. 5-year rule,
5-year rule. You're an idiot.
Hey, I learned that from your mother.
Oh, Jesus. But, yeah.
Dude! And then what did we learn about Bucky's book?
Bucky's book actually turns out that Bucky's book is Steve's notebook that he had with a list of things that he needed to check out from the 70 plus years that he was on ice. And we don't know when Steve gave the notebook to Bucky. I don't recall any movie.
I've never seen it. I just assume at some point they're friends. So he was like, I use this, it helped me, now you use it.
Yeah, but Bucky definitely didn't use it for the purpose that Steve was hoping he would use it for. He's using it.
But he's using it to help. Either way.
Basically, he's just trying to make amends to everyone that he's done wrong while he was the Winter Soldier. So there's that.
But then after that little plane ride, they make their way to Madripoor, where we get a little name drop.
We get a
name drop of Conrad Mack. Just to give you guys a little explanation, just a tiny little tidbit, just a little suckle of information from the knowledge teat. Conrad Mack, aka the Smiling Tiger, was actually a part of one of the Thunderbolts teams in the comics. And Zemo was leader of one of the Thunderbolts teams in the comics, and General Thunderbolt Thaddeus Ross was the creator of one of the Thunderbolts teams in the comics. So with all these characters floating around, maybe we'll get possibly a Suicide Squad-esque Thunderbolts team happening sometime in the future.
I could definitely see it being Marvel, and they could definitely pull it off if they try, or if they do it. But when, we don't know. We never know. We know what they have planned for at least Phase 4, and I think part of Phase 5. Or maybe all of Phase 5 even. But other than that, they are definitely working on projects that they have not announced yet. Just saying.
Right, of course. I mean, Marvel's always shady like that, so you really just never know. And then, I also liked gotta love the can you pull your seat up callback to Civil War?
Yeah,
except this time Bucky was in the back.
Reversed, yeah.
Right. Or no, Bucky was in the front.
Yeah, Bucky was
Which honestly, that's karma, Sam. I mean,
Yeah, really.
But I thought it was great that they added that. See?
The fact that Bucky's still holding that grudge.
You wouldn't? Come on.
Yeah, fucker.
Come on,
put
bro.
Your seat up, so I'm not putting
Right. That's the same argument as you rode front seat in the car? Well, I call shotgun on the way back.
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean?
But I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We're kind of going all over the place here.
No, this is all still in the car ride, and then they actually go into Madripoor, but of course not into Hightown. They gotta go to Lowtown.
Yeah. But I actually have a question before we move into that. During Bucky and Zemo's conversation during the prison, when they're at the prison.
Okay.
Zemo suspects that Bucky thinks Hydra has some sort of involvement to the super soldier serums, getting out there and being stolen or whatever. Do you think Hydra's still around? Do you think there's a small group of Hydra informants?
Yes,
or whatever?
I do, because Okay, can we talk about this? Badrock the Leaper at the very, like, one of the first opening scenes of the first episode, when they're doing all that plane stuff. I believe that was Hydra.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
Okay.
sneezed. But on that poster in my room, remember how the black and yellow suited people up there flying down are Hydra?
Yeah.
Those were the suits that those guys were wearing.
Hmm.
I think. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. But either way, I believe that group at the beginning is definitely going to play a role in this somehow. Or, okay. Theory. Eric Voss from New Rockstars brought up
Right.
how he thought the government might be trying to take Falcon, like, make him look bad and
Yeah.
make the new Cap look good. What if that's confirmed by the fact that that first mission was with Batroc the Leaper? Because that guy, he was also in The Winter Soldier as the guy that Cap
Yeah.
fought on the boat.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But he was on the boat because Nick Fury, like, sent him there to hijack the boat so that they could actually
Yeah.
do what Nick wanted to do. So do you think the government used him again and tried to lure Sam across that border to get stuff going and be like, oh, well, if he's doing that and getting foreign border, like, starting conflicts over there, he's not good enough to be our Cap.
There is definitely some shady shit going on. I don't necessarily know what. But then again, who knows? We literally have to wait to see if they're going to even touch anything.
You know
on
what?
top
We're
of that.
supposed to know. Nobody knows but the people at Marvel, but Mr. Feige, and you know what? We're going to try to figure it out prematurely.
Yeah. We'll try, at least. Okay, so back at Match Report, Bucky, Sam, and Zemo.
They get into the club.
They're
The Bronze Monkey.
It's so confusing because one video calls it the Brass Monkey, another video calls it the Bronze Monkey.
I think it might have went by both. I don't know. The point is, it's the club with the monkey symbol. You guys get it. You watch the episode.
Like Eric Voss in New Rockstars, he says the Brass Monkey, but then another video that we were watching yesterday said the Bronze, and I'm like,
Well, actually, I tend to believe it's bronze because it showed a picture, which I think was from the comics. But either way, I mean, you know what we're talking about. Come on. Or if you really know, correct us. I mean, I'd like to actually definitely know.
But before they enter the club, it in one of the shots it shows a bar that a certain someone visits.
The neon sign of the Princess Bar.
The Princess Bar. You were telling me this.
Logan in the comics, Mr. Wolverine himself. This is a reference to the X-Men. Logan goes under the alias of Patch for a while, where he wears an eye patch, and he goes to that bar a lot during that storyline. Now, we're probably not going to get X-Men in this series.
I'm pretty sure we stated this in last episode.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But, like, I feel like this is just going to be a little breadcrumb for people to come back to down the line when an X-Men movie drops and be like, oh, Madripoor is real. Maybe there's another detail that we missed that'll make sense in later.
Yo,
when we get more context.
Thought about this. What if that Mutants movie, like, what if a good portion of it actually takes place in Madripoor?
I mean, you never know. Because
you
if
never,
the Powerbroker...
You never know, yeah.
If his experiments on the Super Soldier Serum are just now getting to America, then you don't know how much stuff he's been doing behind the scenes before, so that's a fair point. I could see that. Plus, Madripoor is mainly an X-Men place anyway, so
yeah,
it would make sense.
So that would definitely be interesting.
I love the drink that Sam had to drink in the bar.
Yo, I literally, what the fuck?
Were those the snake's balls? Like, I don't think they were testicles.
What exactly did the bartender at that club pull out of the snake?
No. But it was kind of cool, though, because, like, here's another little tidbit of information. Like, Conrad Mack in the comics, I guess, was raised, like, pretty crazy. Like, pretty, feral, like, ruthless. Like, he would, I don't know if he's a cannibal or anything like that, but, like, clearly he's willing to eat some stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not a super big character. He's like a low level crime boss, crime player in Madripoor, but I think it would be cool. I think maybe we'll see the real Conrad Mack pop up.
Possibly.
Speaking of that, why does it seem like this series is just like slowly becoming a collection of all of Marvel's black superheroes? I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. But I mean, you don't notice that? We've got Falcon, we've got Isaiah Bradley, we've got Eli Bradley, we've got Battlestar, Lamar Hoskins.
We've got Rhodey in the first episode.
Yep, we've got Rhodey. We've got now Conrad Mack, so that's 6. And we're only halfway through.
Yeah.
Like, I think I can't remember other people's names, but there's definitely more, and we could see them, so who knows, dude. But I think it's cool that they're, like, slowly bringing in all the black superheroes.
Yeah. What'd you say the name of that group was? That was all black superheroes?
I don't know that there is a group that's all black superheroes.
You said you were telling me about it like 2 weeks ago. Something about Rhodey and Black Panther and Falcon were in it, or maybe not Black Panther.
I'm not sure.
But
oh yeah, and then at the end of this episode, we get a Black Panther reference. And if you think about when this takes place, like, I know Chadwick, rest in peace, he's gone, but the Black Panther technically in the MCU, I believe, is still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
So,
for the
like,
most part, so
they probably won't show him. That's probably why the Dora Milaje showed up instead of him, because he can't be there to film it.
Yeah.
But again, another black character coming in the show.
Exactly.
I don't know what group you're talking about. But anyway, a little off topic. So we get to that club scene.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought it was kind of cool how, like, first of all, that fight scene with Bucky, pretty awesome.
Yo, his psychiatrist is gonna be pissed though.
Oh yeah, people videoed him, which, again, I think was part of Zemo's plan. He even threw a guy at Bucky, so he wanted him to fight long enough for people to record him so he could, like, screw Bucky over later. So, like, I think Zemo's more involved than everybody thinks. I'm not going to say he's the Powerbroker, but
as of now, we have yet for that to be revealed to us. But if the Powerbroker does end up somehow being Zemo, even though he's been locked up for 5+ years, that'd be interesting.
It would be pretty interesting. I don't think it's Zemo, but like you say, you never know.
Literally, that's all you can say. You never know.
But speaking of that fight scene, I don't know if you noticed this. I haven't heard anybody else really say anything about it, but as I mentioned earlier, I rewatched Civil War last night, and I noticed that every time Bucky, when he was in his Winter Soldier mode, like when they would say, hello, soldier, or good morning, soldier, or whatever they would say, he would always say, ready to comply.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say it. He would say it in a different language, but still, he would always say ready to comply, and then they would give him his mission, and he would do it. But this time, Zemo just said soldier, and then he said attack, and then Bucky didn't say anything, he just attacked. Which I think was a little cool detail to show you that Bucky was not really in Winter Soldier mode, but he was indeed just acting. So that was really cool little detail.
Alright, so after all that goes down, they meet up with a character named Selby.
Yes.
Do we know at all who she was?
I don't know who she could be in the MCU. I don't think we've ever seen her in the MCU. There are a couple different Selbys in the comics. One of them, I only know about one of them. I know one of them's name is Selby, and he is I don't know if he's a mutant or what he is, but he has powers where he can speak the language of technology. So basically, he can hack into any technology. So he sort of sells information. Maybe she's playing that character, or maybe she's just a random person named Selby. But it's Marvel. Is anything random?
Yeah, if a character gets introduced, whether or not they have one scene and then they die or you just never see them again, they're may not be as important as other characters like Captain America, Iron Man, just figures like that, but they aren't random.
Right, exactly. Like, very few things are random, with a side of, like, a couple of the names on Bucky's list that are just employees of Marvel.
Yeah, literally, other than that. Or just placeholder names, like that you saw in the first episode.
Or people in the vanished list.
Yeah.
But speaking of that Selby scene, I was kind of really annoyed. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But, like, when Sam's cell phone rang, that kind of pissed me off because, like, this isn't Sam's first rodeo. How did he not remember to turn his phone off or put it on silent? Like, isn't he used to this type of espionage?
I would think so. Maybe this is his first undercover mission, and he just wasn't or maybe he's done undercover missions. He just wasn't. Maybe he just wasn't expecting to be doing one.
I mean, maybe, but, like, you don't think when you're prepping yourself on that walk on the Madripoor Bridge that you're not gonna, like, make sure everything's turned off? Which, again, makes me think, did Zemo plant that phone on him? Did Zemo make sure his phone was on and in the pocket of the coat he gave him?
I don't see that being the case necessarily because that was Sam's phone. His sister called him on the phone.
Well, right. I'm sure it was just a coincidence, but, like, maybe Bucky did that trying to up his odds of getting something to happen to Sam.
Again, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure, like, when he got that phone call, he did look a little confuzzled in the face.
Right.
Like, what?
Right, but I think that was more or less just kind of like, oh, crap. This is exactly what I don't need right now. And just, I don't know.
But basically after Sam got the phone call, his sister on the phone says his actual name. Selby was like, she wasn't confused, but
his cover was blown.
His cover was blown,
and then Selby just gave the command
and to kill them, and then she immediately gets. She just gets
We don't
sniped.
need moment by moment, play by play. They've seen the episode,
Yes,
bro.
yeah.
Come on, like Selby gets sniped by none other than Sharon Carter.
Yeah, she finally comes into play, which I'm surprised that it's the third episode in and not maybe the second episode, but
I mean, it was just her entrance to me was surprising anyway.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Like, she's a bit of a badass now.
And then with Sharon, we learn that after the events of Civil War, after she stole Cap's shield and Falcon's wings, then gave it back to them, she was on the run. And she ended up finding herself in Madripoor.
Right.
So you know how there's a low town and a high town? How did she?
She's living it up in high town.
Like,
because she is a stolen art broker or stolen art thief or something. She has, like, the genuine art that we think is hanging in a museum, and that's what she sells.
But do you think she's doing business with the Powerbroker?
Well, people think she is the power broker. I personally think that, I like what you said, she's just doing business with him. She's not the power broker. Why would she be walking around on the streets if she was the power broker?
And there's also a scene earlier where Zemo refers to the power broker with the he pronouns.
Yeah, but I mean, that could just be misleading because he looks like, you know, like that's what they put on the Power Broker's watching thing.
Him as, literally an outline of a male character, but
But dude, we find out that Sharon is kind of like a little darker now and a bit of a badass.
Oh yeah.
And she's mad because like nobody helped. She even said like, "Oh, I didn't have the Avengers to help me when Civil War happened. So like my family doesn't even know where I am right now. I'm just chilling in Madripoor." And that really makes me mad because like, are you saying that Cap, like Steve, never got a hold of her after Civil War?
Yeah.
Like what? How would Cap not have got a hold of her after Civil War? He literally broke Sam and everybody out of the prison, but you don't follow up with Sharon?
Yeah, you don't contact the
your
girl
little
you
fling
got with like
you'll make out with her in a parking lot, but you won't contact her?
yeah. Yo, you know him though. He'll wait till she has a great niece.
But like I don't know. That's really weird to me. Why I feel like we need to know more of her story. Like, can we get a little Sharon Carter miniseries or something?
That would definitely be interesting.
Maybe not a series. Maybe like a movie, because like a series would be like, if it is a series, maybe half-hour episodes.
Yeah,
or something.
We
Nothing
definitely
big.
don't need anything big. Like, yes, Sharon Carter, she is an interesting character, but
an hour's worth of content or
yeah.
a movie's worth of content would be more than enough to explain what happened to her.
Exactly. Like, how did she end up in Madripoor? How did she end up in Hightown?
Right.
Like if she's doing business with the Powerbroker, which I would honestly believe that she is.
I definitely think it's a possibility. Again, about Sharon though, like I don't know if I'm just being stupid or this is again like weird writing or something, but like Sharon was talking to Sam and then they were talking about getting her free and she was like,
yeah,
you don't even know that you could do that. And Sam's like, you're right, I don't, but I would try. And then like a couple seconds later, she literally shakes his hand on a deal that's like, oh, I'll help you now, but you'll clear my freedom. Why would she accept that deal when a couple seconds ago they both just agreed that it wouldn't be a guarantee that he could help her?
I see it maybe like this. Sam's persistent and like he seems like the type of guy that would be like, are you sure you don't want me to try to get that freedom for you or whatever? And she's probably like, all right, well, he's probably going to mention it again and again before they leave here or whatever. I'm going to just make the deal with them for him to shush up. I don't know.
Honestly, I think you're right. Sharon's working with the Powerbroker, and once she found out what they were doing here with Zemo, she's like, oh, okay, they're kind of impeding on my work, so maybe I should make a deal with them and help them out so I can make them think I'm working with them, and really I can keep an eye on them.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
Sidebar, did we see some blood splatters from Marvel?
Yeah, usually we don't see anything like that, and it just so happens this episode we actually see something like that.
Right, like fast forward to that scene of her fighting those people in the shipping yard.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty gruesome as far as Marvel fight scenes.
She throws some knives, you see some blood splatters, and I'm like, okay, well this episode was written by the John Wick writer, or the writers.
Right. So that might be why.
That definitely could be why.
But I like it.
But the fact that Disney allowed it, like with that scene in Endgame when Thor chops Thanos' head off, we don't actually see the chop of the head.
We do see the head roll.
We do see the head roll, but we don't see we don't see the
much.
actual head. Yeah. Like, I don't even think there's blood dripping off of Thanos' head.
I don't know.
When it rolls.
I can't really remember. But, like, you definitely saw blood in this one.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. It's time for...
Shower Thoughts.
Shower Thoughts.
I don't think we need to explain what shower thoughts are, but if you need an explanation, you can be in the shower, just a random thought comes to your head, bada bang. Shower thoughts.
Exactly. Shower thoughts. You could be taking a poop. You get a random thought. Pops in your head. Shower
I'm like,
thoughts.
ooh, that's a good one. Let me write that down.
You're waiting for the bus. You think your mind's going somewhere. You're daydreaming, but then you get a thought that you want to write down, but you can't, and eventually it slips away. Shower thought.
Rip.
But this is a segment called Shower Thoughts, where we tell you guys our random shower thoughts that we've had since last episode.
And yeah.
Take it away.
So my first shower thought. In this episode we have not spoken about that scene yet, but when it cuts back to Carly, and the Flag Smashers at that GRC settlement or whatever, and she goes and sees her mama Donia or whatever, she appears to be sick and ends up dying. My question is, or my thought was whether or not if Donia was sick before or after this actual episode took place, and was she given super soldier serum and she had negative effects to it.
Honestly, I had almost an exact same shower thought, because Carly said, "I'm sorry," like as she was crying, holding her hand. So like, we find out in the episode that she has tuberculosis. That's what she's officially dying from.
Yeah.
But I think you could be right. Maybe, like, because she also said later in the episode, which I won't spoil it yet, I'll just say the dialogue, she says that, we have the strength now, this world is ours, we need to give it to the kids. But she didn't say give the strength to the kids, she said give the world to the kids, implying that she doesn't want to give them the super soldier serum. So maybe, because she talks about how, like, their veins burnt for days.
Yeah, fiery veins.
So maybe like, you have to be, like, a strong, able-bodied person to survive the serum transformation, and then you're good. So maybe kids can't do it. Maybe Mama Donia, who's tuberculosis-ridden, also couldn't make it. And maybe that's why she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, because, like, I just sort of kind of killed you, even though I was trying to save you."
Yeah, yeah.
Also, before I forget, I just want to ask, do you think, like, if that's true, then do you think that's why she ended up doing what she did? We'll talk about it when the episode comes. When we get to that part of the episode. I'm sorry, I'll just write it down. But what was another shower thought you had?
And my other shower thought. So, Sharon Carter, an ex-SHIELD agent, right? And obviously, since she joined this big agency, she was trained how to fight. But another thought that I had, though, was because we don't see Sharon in the MCU timeline for a good 7 or 8 years before the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right.
So, do you think she could have had ties with the Red Room, or also known as the Black Widow Project? With how brutal her fighting seems to be in this episode.
I will give it to you. She does seem to do some Black Widow, like, body weight fighting. But she also actually kills people, which is a little more brutal than we see Black Widow. But Black Widow has killed people too, like you said. She's got red in her ledger.
Literally, Black Widow has to, like, restrain herself from doing any killing.
She's an Avenger, which is why she doesn't kill. But we see Sharon go a little unhinged.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know how you'd make that connection, but that would be really cool. I could see it. Like, maybe she pops up in Black Widow.
Yeah. Especially with the 7 or 8 year gap that we don't see her.
And this is about super soldier stuff. Red Guardians and Black Widow, he's like the Russian Captain America, so that's sort of super soldiery. So maybe Sharon's the connection. I don't know. That's a good shower thought.
For all we know, Sharon could be appearing in that movie. We just will have to wait to find out until June.
Of course. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure.
Because it gets delayed so many damn times.
Right.
Like...
But another shower thought that I had, is through... I found... Okay, so... I was trying to do some research for this episode, and I stumbled upon something that's freaking amazing. Okay? It's a character created by Stan Lee, and it's called Stripperella.
Oh boy.
Okay, the tagline for the show is, she's a stripper by night and a hero by late night. Stripperella.
Hero, right.
Oh yeah. Stripperella was a TV show created by Stan Lee for the Spike Channel back in 2003 and 2004. And I've never seen it, but now I have to watch it. At least one episode. Because, like...
I think it's on Amazon.
What? Maybe, I don't know, but... Yeah, not that I'm promoting being a stripper, but, like... She's a stripper and a superhero. Can you get more,
it's an interesting concept because it's about this superhero that also happens to be a stripper who is played by literally
Pamela Anderson
model. So that's interesting enough.
That's perfect.
And it's created by Stan Lee. So like how interesting is that?
I don't want to get too much in detail about that. We can talk about that later. But yeah, go check it out if you're interested. Stripperella. Another shower thought, just a random. I liked Zemo's dance in the club. Oh my god. That was great. I need to like video
Insert
that.
in here.
Right, I need to video that and just like make it a GIF and then just send it to you. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't already a GIF.
probably. And then I have another shower thought. You're probably not gonna like it, but I have to say it.
Oh boy.
I'm sure you know what I'm gonna say.
I think I'm going with this.
Is Sharon a Skrull? I mean,
No clue, dog.
everybody's a Skrull. You know what I mean? This is my theory. Everybody's a Skrull. I say it almost every
Everybody's a
episode.
Skrull.
I don't mean to be on the Skrull train.
Yo, like you're literally New Rochester's
Don't even,
on the
don't
Zola
even.
train, but you're on the
No,
Skrull
okay.
train, bro.
But I don't know if I want it to be true or not. But the only reason I say it is because, like you said, we got that 8-year gap, and like
Yeah.
a lot could have happened there. She's the only character we have not seen and just randomly pops up, and she can fight like that. Maybe because she's a Skrull. Maybe because she's the Red Room. I don't know. What's your other shower thought?
I don't have any other shower.
You don't have any? Okay, well, I
For this
do.
episode specifically, I don't have another shower.
Well, another shower thought is, Wyatt Russell had to deactivate his social media account for a little while, like when the Falcon and Winter Soldier started airing, because people were so pissed that he was playing, the new Cap, John Walker. Like, they sent him death threats.
Hey guys, how about we don't send actors death threats?
How retarded is that? Like, to send an actor a death threat for a character.
I get it if you don't like the character that he's portraying.
I don't like his character.
But you gotta also understand,
that doesn't mean I don't
MCU
like Wyatt.
just because he's playing a character that we've already seen does not mean he is the replacement to Chris Evans. It's just the MCU developing, bringing in more characters, and in the comics, this is also another thing that happens.
Right.
Captain America gets replaced by a new Captain America.
It's stupidness, guys. Don't make fun. Don't patronize an actor for a character, okay? If you're gonna send them death threats, at least make it about something that they themselves have said, not something they're acting about, okay? Like, come on. This is stupidness.
Be reasonable. I get it. You're upset, but don't just if you're 12 and under, stay off the internet.
Right, like, just come on.
But if you're 12 and older, like, you're getting old enough to where you need to be more mature. Literally act your age.
Right. And if you're not 12 and under, and you're sending people death threats, then you're acting 12 and under, so stop it. Anyway, another shower thought. I actually liked the song that was playing in the Bronze Monkey when they first came in.
Yeah?
I don't know what it was in a different language, I think, but it was pretty, like... I'm not usually into party music, but that, I don't know, every time I rewatch the episode, that just hits me.
There are definitely songs that are sung or rapped or whatever. There are songs in every genre that are in different languages that some people in America like.
I don't know. It's just weird to me.
I have a few songs
I do like it,
saved on my Spotify that are in Japanese. I think even
I have a couple Italian
Korean.
songs from work.
Yeah, I had my.
And then my last shower thought actually comes from the conversation that Sarah and Sam had on the phone.
Yeah.
When they were talking, she goes, "Are you high?" And that got me thinking, like, does that confirm that Falcon smokes weed? Because she wouldn't be asking him if he was high if she didn't think he smoked weed. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Or was it so off the wall that she was like, "Whoa, are you high? You're really super weird."
I mean, if Sam did smoke weed, it wouldn't baffle me because this show alone has definitely gotten like a little bit more nitty gritty than previous MCU titles, like the blood splattering, the word pimp being used.
Right. Oh, good. Okay, last shower thought before we end this segment. I think him saying pimp could be a reference to Snap Wilson in the comics.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Snap Wilson's really weird. In Falcon's history, he was originally, like, back in the era of the Red Skull.
Yeah.
He grew up, in the army. That was his original history, what we know in the MCU. And then somehow he fights the Red Skull, and the Red Skull uses the Tesseract, and we find out that that's not his actual history, him being in the army. We find out that he was actually, like, a pimp, and, like, a bad guy, and, like, a criminal, and the Red Skull actually reshaped his past and made him into the Falcon that we know today, which is a total retcon, and I think it's really weird and I don't like it, but yeah, that's Snap Wilson. And this concludes Shower Thoughts. Alright, so they just met Sharon Carter.
Yeah, they just met her. They get in. Oh yeah. Before that, they get a name from Selby before.
Oh
she
yes,
gets shot.
Dr. Nagel.
Dr. something Nagel. I don't remember his first name.
I don't care.
They mention his name to Sharon, and Sharon might possibly have a lead on where he is or whatever. And when I say might, I say it in quotations.
I mean, she
because
pretty much
she
led them
pretty
right.
much lead him. Yeah, she led him right to where his lab is.
Which is also why I think she's working for the Powerbroker. Because I kind of think maybe she sent those people after herself, sort of, to just be like, "Hey, guys, yeah, you can't be in there talking to Nagel for a while because we got company, so get your information and get out." Like, I think that was her trying to put a clock on, like, a time limit.
I see that, but the way that she fucked those guys up, like, she did more like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna, like, pretend fight to play it off."
Right.
No, she literally puts a knife through a dude's arm, stabs a dude, I think, like the leg or something,
And shoots people. Like, she killed them.
Yeah, she straight up kills people.
Alright, fair. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a possibility.
Dude, anything's a possibility.
I don't
It's
think
the
she's
MCU.
the Powerbroker, though.
No,
Like,
I
don't know who it is, but it's not her.
She be the power broker?
'Cause she's a woman.
She's a woman? Oh my
No.
god! No, that's not at all
No.
why we're saying that.
Just because she doesn't seem like the Powerbroker.
The
She seems like a smaller
Powerbroker-
person.
The power broker alone, he's this mysterious figure that we have yet to meet.
I kind of like
And
Eric Voss's
Sharon Carter.
saying it could be the Mandarin.
Sharon Carter, like, she's like, yeah, she hid herself from Bucky and Sam before they actually met.
Well, that's
with each
because
other.
she was trying to see what they were doing there.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I think she's working with the
But
Powerbroker.
she was out in the open. People saw her.
Right.
There's no way she's the power
No,
broker.
but she's working with him because, again, once she saw them, she, like, started helping them so she could get her hands on them first. To
Yeah.
see what they knew, I think. Or this could just be total malarkey. I don't know.
You never know, dude.
And then they meet Nagel. He tells them that there's actually 20 vials of super soldier serum he made that he derived from Isaiah Bradley's blood, or the test subject, as he refers to him.
like
the man doesn't have a name.
Like Sam said after that whole spiel, acting like he wasn't even a person.
Right.
But Nagel also says he created a more refined super soldier serum where, like, no jacked up bodies.
You look
no
normal,
super-
but you gain the powers.
Yeah, you gain the abilities, but you're not jacked up like
Right.
Steve Rogers.
No clunky machines.
So that's definitely interesting there.
But then as soon as he says that there's only 20 vials and there's no more serum, Zemo just immediately kills him.
Yeah.
Which, no surprise there.
Yeah, Nagel refers to himself as some god figure.
And then Zemo's like, word, I heard you. Beep!
Oh yeah, there's no more vials? Word. But then again, as after that, a rocket comes in, blows up the lab, and you see these vials with, like, it might not necessarily be super soldier serum, but it's liquid that looks like super soldier serum.
I think that is super soldier serum, but I don't think it's his, quote, perfect batch. I think he's in the process of making more, and that's what that is. I'm sorry, my mouth is so dry. Holy crap. But yeah, I think those are, like, in the process of almost being full serums, but they're not. So maybe someone's going to snag one of those vials and try to take it, and it's going to be one of those, like, crappy versions of the serum that only halfway works.
An interesting theory that Eric Voss actually stated in his breakdown of the episode of New Rockstars, if you're wondering. His theory was that maybe possibly Zemo took a vial.
I do not agree. Do not agree.
I don't.
Why? He just killed the man who made him. Why would he take one?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't need the super soldier serum, but maybe he could be using the super soldier serum as a leverage to get to the Powerbroker.
If what we just said is true, that those are unfinished serum vials, and he knows that, then maybe he'll take one to give to John Walker or someone that thinks they're going to become a superhero just so he can kill them, just so it, like, kills them.
Yeah.
Because the Powerbroker, little known fact, in the credits, when it says, like, the Powerbroker is watching or whatever it says in the credits, you can see a little animation of people. Half of the people are black, half of them are white. I think that's supposed to show half of them are dead, half of them are alive.
Yeah.
Because in the testing experiments, I believe in the comics, like, half of the test subjects that do the Powerbroker thing end up dying.
Yeah.
So maybe Zemo would take a vial if he knew that. But other than that, I don't really see him doing that. I think he wanted it all to die right there.
And that definitely is a possibility. Because although we don't see... That's also another thing. We don't see anything happen, like, on camera. And then Zemo, he just, like, sort of disappears shortly after that, but then comes back up. Like, he doesn't...
I like that. There were at least 2 times in this episode I thought Zemo just dipped out and was, like, totally gonna go against his word, and he didn't. Both times he, like, saved their ass and continued with the mission.
Easily just left them. Like, oh, you guys broke me out of prison. I helped you in something. Now I'm out of here. Fuck you guys.
Right. But I don't think he's doing this because he's turned over a new leaf and he's a good guy. I think he's doing this because not all of the parts of his plan are in place yet. I think maybe he still needs to guide Bucky and Sam to do something else before he can leave them.
And also that not whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Earlier in the episode, he said that his work is unfinished
he doesn't intend to leave it unfinished.
Yeah, he doesn't intend to leave it unfinished.
And he shot Nagel, so I tend to believe him.
And Sam and Bucky just so happen to, like, basically they're leading Zemo to a group of people that he just so happens needs to interact with or kill or whatever he's going to do with them if they end up meeting. Which he
said he was looking forward to meeting them, so he's going to try and kill them. Like, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any super soldiers. He's going to try to kill everybody. That's super obvious. I don't know how yet.
Not only that,
but
after the Flag Smashers, do you think that is where Zemo will possibly ditch Bucky and Sam?
I guess
Because
it depends on how that battle goes.
Because they're after the Flag Smashers, but after that, if there are other
After that, he'll probably try to keep
Winter
climbing the
Soldiers.
ladder and go up to the Powerbroker.
possibly, yeah, that would be interesting. When does Shang-Chi take place?
Shang-Chi and
yeah.
and the Ten Rings. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, so that would be interesting, right? Hear me out. Say the Mandarin is actually the Powerbroker.
Okay.
And say Zemo does rise up the ladder or climb up the ladder,
Right.
and actually like start to do business with the Powerbroker.
Okay.
Maybe Zemo will possibly try to overthrow the Powerbroker, get rid of him, and then become the Powerbroker himself.
I think he could, but then he would give the Powerbroker a new meaning because, like, his work is to get rid of all super people, so he's not going to continue to supply people with power.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely won't. But that's
also,
the thing.
though, I don't think he'll take the mantle of the Powerbroker because he's sort of kind of already balling on his own.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't need all that money.
I mean, maybe he wants the status.
Yeah,
but like
he's a baron.
I just
That's
don't
good
see
enough
it.
status.
Right. I don't see him taking it over. Definitely, maybe hunting him down, and killing him.
Yeah.
But speaking of killing, we cut to after they're talking to Nagel and saying that her mom dies of tuberculosis. We cut to that scene.
Yeah.
Of Carly's mother dying of tuberculosis, where she says she's sorry, like we've already talked about.
Yeah.
And then we get the scene of them being outside the GRC place, and they blow up the car, which in turn blows up the building.
Yeah.
And you see, like, she killed people,
yeah,
and then her partner's like, there were still people in there.
So, my theory about that, actually, is that maybe Carly will do enough heinous crimes or whatever to where, like, where her partner is like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I'm a dip, and whether you like it or not, I don't care.
Right.
But maybe I'm gonna go, maybe find John Walker, or maybe
I don't know if
myself.
he'll, like, completely make a turnaround, but it definitely seems like it's gonna make a wedge.
I feel like it'll come in play.
Right.
Not necessarily like, a full 180, like, yeah, bye-bye. But it'll slowly peek itself in.
But, okay, hear me out, right? So, because this takes place after her mother does die.
Yeah.
So, what if, like, my theory about, or your theory rather, about giving the super soldier serum to her mother, and then that is what actually kills her, so she feels bad. Maybe that actually happened, and that's why she decided to go ahead and blow up the building. Because maybe, after Mama Donya died, she was like, oh, okay, well, I thought doing it this way would help, but it didn't, so now I'm going to try to do it another way. And maybe she's, starting to radicalize a little bit more.
Possibly. Maybe her Mama Donya's death is just gonna lead her down a darker path than
probably
what she's already leading down.
I don't think it's like the Red Skull, how it was the super soldier serum that affected him, because then all the Flag Smashers would start being affected.
Yeah.
But her partner clearly had remorse for those people.
Yeah.
So, it's only Carly.
They were definitely messed up for holding 6 months of food and water supply and not giving it to people. That's messed up.
Right.
But you definitely didn't need to, blow up your own vehicle to then blow up.
No, they already had it handled.
Yeah.
She says this is the only language these people speak. But again, she killed people after one of her people died. So, does that actually confirm that maybe those people gave her mom tuberculosis? Or something that they did is why she's sick? Or she believes something they did is why she's sick? She's like, oh, well, this is the only language they know because they killed my mom, so I killed them.
I don't necessarily know.
We don't know why we don't know anything about her other than that scene.
Yeah. And also, if Carly and the Flag Smashers are at a GRC settlement, and John Walker works for the GRC, how
I was confused about that too. Like she was playing soccer.
Were they actually like living at that settlement for a time period, or did they just visit, or? And how didn't John Walker get alerted? Oh, hey, the people you're looking for, yeah, they're at this settlement in this place.
Also, in one of the previous episodes, she said they're putting the same people in power as before, so it seems like they care more about the people that are coming back than the people that never left, implying that she's one of the people that never left.
Yeah.
So if she's one of the people that never left, she wouldn't be displaced, which means she would have no reason to be at a GRC camp.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't be there as being one of the refugees. She would be there only to help them, I guess, if that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
So maybe she is visiting the camp and they're just giving her refuge real quick because she's helping them? But also, if she's helping them and John Walker is them, then what's the dealio?
Yeah, I'm honestly confused about that. Maybe
someone help us? Like, did we just misunderstand that?
Maybe it was just the way that the episode was written or edited, or I don't.
Right, like that seems like a very big plot hole for them to mess up, which is why I think I'm just misunderstanding.
Hey, you know that villain that happens to be staying at a settlement for the company you work for?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how would you not know about that? So that has to have more.
And there are, like, and if I'm not mistaken, almost every public building has cameras in it.
Right.
So you're telling me, like, cameras
they're in different countries, so maybe.
I mean, they are in different countries, but like,
and it's more like third world countries. Like, they don't even have supplies, food, and water, but they have cameras there. You really think?
Dude, possibly.
I don't know.
Like,
but anyway, so after that scene of her murdering people, what do we get, Zach?
What?
What do we get after that scene?
I'm pretty sure it cuts to Sam, Bucky, and Zemo.
I'm pretty sure we get one of the best endings so far.
Yeah, it's definitely. Although, me personally, I did not expect this at all to happen, even though I'm stupid for thinking that because of the country that Bucky was in that time through
Honestly,
Civil War to Infinity War. But it cuts to Bucky, Sam, and Zemo. I'm pretty sure in the exact country that Carly was in.
I don't know. They're going to find Carly is all I know.
They're going to I'm not. I can't remember if they're in the exact country that
they go all over the place in this episode. All I know is they're going to find Carly, and someone else finds them.
And Bucky finds
a Kamoyo bead.
A Kamoyo bead.
I think that's how you say
2 or 3 of them at least.
Like 2, I think.
And as they're about to enter a building, to basically camp up there for
Bucky's like, hold up, I'm gonna take a walk.
Then he ends up going down this alleyway or whatever. Obviously, you don't need a play-by-play, but you know. He turns around and you see Oya? Oye?
No, Okoye is the leader of the Dormilaje. This is her second.
Oh, Ayo.
Ayo.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
Ayo, that's how I remember it.
And she asked about Zemo. So, my question is to you. Do you think Bucky is gonna hand Zemo over? Or do you think he might betray Wakanda and keep Zemo until they figure out where the Flag Smashers are, or basically until he's done?
I personally think
with Zemo
that Bucky will say, "Hey, so I need Zemo. No disrespect to you, but I only broke him out because I need him. So after I complete what I'm trying to do here, you can have him, but until that, I need him." And then I think Ayo is going to be like, yeah, that's not happening. I need him now. So, we have a problem. And I think he's going to try to get him.
And
she's gonna try to get him.
and I guarantee you, Wakandans hold grudges too.
But I feel really stupid because, like, Falcon even said earlier in the episode, like, he killed King T'Chaka. You think that Wakanda forgot about that? Because they definitely didn't. That should have told us right there something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then she just pops up at the end.
Yeah, like I said,
And again,
I
mind blown. I
did
didn't even
not
expect it.
at all think, oh, yeah, we're definitely going to see a Wakandan. Definitely, yeah. But
But,
based off the first episode, I didn't think that at all.
but I'm really interested to see, like, to know if we'll get to see more about Bucky's time in Wakanda. Again, maybe that could be a movie or a miniseries.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, it's implied that he gets some rest there, but he also gets his head dehydrated there. So clearly he wasn't deactive or, like, recuperating the whole time. So he had to be doing something.
He also gains the alias White Wolf.
Right, the kids say that, so how'd you get that?
Like, clearly you did. You aided Wakanda in whatever
Right.
it was that you aided them in.
Now, speaking of the White Wolf, me and you had a conversation about this a couple days ago. And just to let everyone out there know, I have a theory about this, actually. Like, especially since it was name-dropped in this show again, I think Bucky's evolution is that he is going to take the mantle of the White Wolf. Now, in the comics, he wasn't the White Wolf. Let me just give you a little breakdown. So, in the comics, I feel sad because I'm going to disrespect this guy because I don't remember his name. But the original White Wolf is just a white dude. Him and his family are flying over Wakanda. They get into a plane crash. They land either in Wakanda or just outside of it. But Wakandans find him. They don't really accept him at first, but eventually King T'Chaka adopts him as a son. But then King T'Challa's born. So then the White Wolf, there starts to get some jealousy because he's like, I was here first. The king's like, yeah, but this is my blood.
This is my blood, yeah.
So, then from there on, the White Wolf sort of becomes this, like, anti-hero character. Like, he's super loyal to Wakanda because he grew up there, that is his place, but also, like, because of that jealousy, it sort of leads him to do some bad things. I'm not 100% sure of what those are, but, like, I know some good things he did was he was the leader of the secret police force in Wakanda for a time. But, like, him and T'Challa were at odds a lot, too, and I think the ending we got for episode 3 is perfect to set up Bucky becoming the White Wolf. Because, okay. Obviously, Wakanda wants Zemo, and like you just asked, is Bucky gonna hand Zemo over or not? And I don't think he is.
Yeah,
And I think the Wakandans are gonna be mad, like, hey, you know how much this means to us, and you just let him out, and you're helping him? Like, now we're mad at you.
maybe.
And that would be perfect, because then that's the whole story. That could fit Bucky being loyal to Wakanda, because they helped him. He really doesn't have any beef with them. He's just trying to get this mission done. But then there's Wakanda not liking him for what he did, so there sets up that on-again, off-again relationship.
I definitely feel like he's not going to hand over Zemo because, I mean, like, what was the point of breaking Zemo out if he's just going to hand him over to another?
The point was literally because he's the only one that has leads.
Yeah, exactly. But
I feel like
there wouldn't be a point to any of that if he just hands him over to Wakanda.
Yes, there would, though. I think the point is he's supposed to think he's going to hand him over because obviously he wouldn't break him out without, like, he knows he's dangerous.
Well,
he wants to put him back in.
Well, yeah.
I just think Zemo's not going to go in because Zemo's going to escape.
Yeah.
I keep saying Zemo has a bigger role in this than we think.
Yeah, no, he definitely does.
So he's going to escape.
But
I think, I don't know, I don't want to say you're wrong because you never know, but, like, I think it's clearly Bucky's intention to put him right back where he got him once he's done with him.
Well, yeah, once he's done, but that's
But now Wakanda is going to take him.
He's not done with Zemo yet, so if he just handed him off to Wakanda immediately after, well, not immediately,
well,
but
right,
immediately after breaking him out.
Yeah,
he's not gonna.
He just said he's going to wait till he's done with his mission.
Breaking him out. But also, do you think that Bucky could possibly make a deal with Wakanda? Like, hey, I need them. When I'm done with them, I'll
this
hand
is
them
the
over
same
to you.
question you asked me, and I literally said, yeah, like, Bucky's going to try to. It all depends on how Wakanda feels about it, but Bucky's not going to hand him over till he's done with his mission. But once he's done with his mission, he'll probably say, yes, you can have him, or he can go back in prison, or whatever you want to do to him. We're done. So, like, clearly they're going to try to make a deal, or Bucky's just going to fight them on it, and then they're going to try to fight him. I think that seems very obvious that that ending scene was to create conflict between him and Wakanda now. Which, again, just further proves, I believe, that the White Wolf is coming.
Yeah. If they did evolve Bucky into the White Wolf, do you think we would get a miniseries or a movie, or do you think they would just have Bucky's evolution as the White Wolf just be in Black Panther 2?
I want to hope that he becomes the White Wolf, but if they go on with like a season 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then maybe he won't become the White Wolf because they'll have to change the name. But I so hope that this is a one-off and he becomes the White Wolf. But depending how this ends, do we know when Black Panther 2 is supposed to come out?
2022?
So, okay, but I mean, the MCU is different anyway. But depending on how this ends, yeah, maybe this could lead into Black Panther 2, where we see Bucky fully become the White Wolf. But, like, I don't know if Marvel is going to fully make him the White Wolf in this miniseries. I don't think.
Yeah,
that kind of seems...
We have only 3 episodes left. Maybe if we had 6 episodes left,
but at the same time, the Powerbroker is becoming more into it. And we know Joaquin Torres becomes the Falcon in the comics when Falcon becomes Cap. So maybe that's the whole point of the show, is evolution. Like, Torres becomes Falcon, Falcon becomes Cap, Bucky becomes White Wolf. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Your catchphrase.
You know it.
Hate when you say that. Like, obviously, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
If they wanted to live with that answer of we'll have to wait and see, they would not be here watching this.
Yeah, you do have a point there. But hey, we just have to wait and see,
but those were all the notes I had on this episode. It was a doozy.
Hopefully next week, it gets a little more crazy. Hopefully Wakandans.
Now my phone.
Hopefully Wakanda has more involvement throughout the series, because that would be interesting.
You're not telling me they have her come in for one scene at the end and then they just have no more involvement. Wakanda's definitely being a player.
There's obviously going to be involvement with Wakanda in next episode, but
think before you speak, man. Jesus.
But no. What I'm saying is, like, maybe I'm hoping that Wakanda will possibly be involved with, like, maybe like the end game of this series, like the final boss fight.
Well,
I
feel like now that they are involved, the end game of the series is going to be what happens to Zemo.
Yeah,
because the Powerbroker is a bad guy, so clearly, like, the show is them trying to find the Powerbroker, stop them, and stop the Flag Smashers. So that's probably how it's going to wrap up. Or, like you said, we only have 3 episodes left. It's kind of going slow. Do you think that they're only going... Okay, here's what I think. They're going to stop the Flag Smashers by the end of this series, but they're not going to stop the Powerbroker. Because they're making him this big Madripoor ruler...
And
I feel like if anything,
thoughts about him being the Mandarin is
right.
Definitely
if that's true, then then he's right. So, like, if anything, I think we're going to get a reveal of who the Powerbroker is in one of the last episodes.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to get a reveal, and then it's going to be cliffhanger, and then it's going to be like, all right, now, how are they going to address this?
How are they going to address this, and how long are we going to have to wait?
Right. Like, I think they're going to take down Flag Smashers, and they're going to get close to the Powerbroker, but then maybe we only learn who he is, and then he escapes. Or we learn that it's Zemo, and then he escapes. Or something. Because, again, I think part of the ending of this is what's going to happen to Zemo.
Yeah.
which I think he's going to escape. It's just a matter of how. Because maybe Thunderbolt Ross helps him and they work as the Thunderbolts. Or maybe he just has his own plans. Because
That would definitely be interesting.
he's
if
maneuvering
Ross
chess
helps.
pieces. How many times do we have to say it?
Yeah.
Something's going on.
He's definitely not a pawn.
He's the
Nowhere's
king.
close to being a pawn.
Right.
He's definitely the king. Maybe he has himself a queen. Who
No,
knows?
maybe he's the queen, because the king's the most important piece. So maybe he's the queen and maybe the Powerbroker's king, but like the point is he's up there and he's pulling
Yes.
strings. And I can't wait to see what those strings are connected to
Indeed.
on the next episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And it is that time again, everyone. We are the Geeks That Speak, and we are signing off.